a bar pop along the top of your screen in any moment to notify you that that is happening. I post all of these classes that I teach, as well as and like ongoing classes will continue to be posted to a YouTube channel that I run. That you guys can grab from there to reference, as well as I will be blasting out a recap with a bunch of the assets that I will show you and cover in this little session. Again, everything's built to kind of go over the nuts and bolts of what we're doing, how you want to get started, and then the greater discussion over like content and strategy will be a talk for another day. Just a few housekeeping tips. Please remember, for the courtesy of everybody in the class, to make sure your microphone stays muted. I do take questions at the end of the session. If you'd like to unmute your microphone, you can do so then. Otherwise, feel free to type them into the chat bar, which, well, it's on, for me, it's right there. For you, it might be somewhere else. But utilize the chat bar. Everything that goes in there, again, I will address at the end of the session. I'm going to try and get you guys out of here in less than an hour, and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how you would manage a YouTube page, and what are we necessarily looking for here. So I've got a few little stats I want to show you just to bring in the importance of YouTube in this kind of social media space, because I know all of us are always talking about Instagram and Facebook, because commercially that's where the two largest audiences are in the grand scheme of things for networking purposes and audience building purposes. That's where you can get the most bang for your buck, for a lack of a better term. And it's where there's an easier method in regards to structure for strategy to be able to climb on those platforms more so than there is on YouTube. But YouTube is owned by Google, which also means they're a strong SEO partner. So everything, when we talk about consistency in marketing and making sure, especially if you've taken my classes, for example, on websites, we talk a lot about making sure everything is pointing back to that hub through calls to actions, which is your website. So especially something like a YouTube channel should be built in the same way and vein that you're marketing things on an Instagram channel or a Facebook channel, to guide people to find content, to make sure that you are your online footprint is sticky enough, for a lack of a better term, to allow SEO to do its work properly. And just for those of you that don't know, SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's the term used to basically talk about the method in which a search engine is filtering through websites for unpaid or otherwise known as organic terms, and utilize the frequency of those terms to then populate things onto their search engine about you. So distilling that down, the more places and the more consistent your posting are on those places, the better chance you have of all of those places climbing the ranks, along with the Coldwell Banker page associated for your brand and business, because Coldwell Banker has all of that SEO marketing behind it. So therefore, a lot of times when you guys are typing your names into Google, that's why the coldwellbankerhomes.com or coldwellbankerhomes.com or coldwellbanker.com page is the first thing you're going to see. Utilizing a strong marketing strategy and bringing YouTube into it is a way to make sure that everything climbs that SEO ladder in a nice, consistent way to, again, focus your client's message around the content that you're building and can provide to them, and focus them all back to your website, where there's multiple pages and ways for them to sign up for your mailing list or get added to your CRM. So let's talk about YouTube. Share my screen here real quick. And sorry if there's a little lag here. It is 10:30 on a Friday, and there's a ton of people on the internet right now. but I think we are good. You guys should see a big screen that says YouTube stats for 2020. Just some things I want to highlight. YouTube, much like the other large social networks we're talking that are owned by Facebook, which is Facebook and Instagram, YouTube is owned by Google and has a following of 2 billion monthly users, and they're continually growing. Instagram has been the largest growing social media platform in its space in the time that we've ever existed, but YouTube continually has steady growth. This time last year, they were at 1.8 billion monthly logged in users. So in the span of, 2 years ago, they were at 1.8 billion. So in the span of 2 years, they've been able to grow about 100 million users every month using the platform. And this gives you a great space, as I said, to continue to try and cultivate an audience utilizing the algorithmic systems that exist within these programs. Much like a Facebook or Instagram, YouTube and Google accounts have what is called a brand account feature. And we're going to go over that in a little bit. And more so on the Facebook and Instagram side, but still very much in play on YouTube's page is the way your profile interacts algorithmically with the system on the back end, meaning how it gets shown to those standard consumer accounts happens differently for a branded account versus a consumer account. If we have, again, commercial aspirations, you should be pushing stuff out of that branded account. And then again, here's just these. This was a really cool graph I got from the Pew Research Center. This was taken at the beginning of last year in 2019. Obviously, a lot of these stats have changed a bit in the COVID-19 era. Instagram is way up. TikTok is now a real player in this space. Snapchat is a lot lower on that rankings list, but YouTube is still maintaining a solid close to 75% mark. So what this graph tells us is that almost 3 out of 4 adults who use online platforms are using YouTube regularly. And that's huge, right? 3 out of 4 people is a great number. I am going to go ahead now and let's actually talk. We've talked enough about YouTube as a thing. Let's go ahead and talk about what a page will look like. So let's go to my YouTube page where I said all of my stuff gets posted, and we can look at a bit of what the structure of a channel on the basic level will be. Going to go ahead and switch to so I'm going to sign into my account. Let's go ahead and actually, since I have to sign in, let's talk about branded accounts versus traditional Google accounts. So anybody with a Google account, like a Gmail, has a YouTube channel. The bare basics of a YouTube channel allows a user to watch videos, like videos, save them to playlists, and in doing all of these things, like commenting, liking, watching, and more importantly, if a user is watching videos that pop up on that recommended tab on the right-hand side, it feeds the algorithmic system of YouTube for that user profile to then provide them with more videos that the system thinks they will like. So channels that can grab somebody to watch a video, whether they be community related, real estate related, or business related, whatever that focus of that video happens to be. If you can grab someone with one video, you have a higher likelihood of being able to stay in front of them the same way you do on any other platform. And again, with a branded account, the big difference is it plays a little bit differently with the back end of that system. But more importantly, in regards to managing a YouTube page, there is a far greater control aspect given to the user to not only manage the channel's name, for example. Right now, if I created my YouTube page just based off of my email, it only can be called my name. So my Coldwell Banker YouTube page is literally just my name because it's not a branded account. If I switch it over to a branded account, which can be done in the advanced settings, it would allow me to then call my page whatever I want it to, as well as delegate access to other users. So if you're part of a team, or you plan on building a team, or whatever the case may be for your business, if you ever anticipate needing to let a marketing person of yours or another agent or another team member into this YouTube channel, so you don't have to have a locked singular access point, you can delegate additional logins to that channel to manage the page. I am going to go ahead and quickly show you if you're going to create a new account, if you don't already have one. Now, bear in mind, this Gmail account doesn't have to be client facing at all, and it doesn't have to serve any purpose outside of managing this YouTube page. You can forward that Gmail account to another email if you'd like to stay on top of comments and things like that that are happening. But in the grand scheme of things, nothing has to be managed there. And you'll see where you can, like, I have my page set up under a Gmail, but if you hit contact me on my page, my CB NorCal email pops up. But as I said, to create that account, you go into that manage business, put in your first and last name, create an email address for this account, and boom, you'll create a password and you'll be in. I am going to go ahead and sign into mine, and then we can see what my account looks like. So I'm going to land here as a consumer first, so we can see what this channel and what YouTube just kind of generally lays out as. What we're looking at is my channel. Just a quick review. The platform has a menu bar along the left-hand side. It is collapsible. Users can utilize this, as you can see, to hit either YouTube's recommended homepage, subscriptions, or trendings, their own library. In your case, this would be your library, your managed subscriptions, and then more items that you can get from YouTube. The landing pages of a channel will have a banner image that you can upload. Again, this is a point where we talk about marketing strategy, brand consistency, and identity. If you've got, for example, a logo, you can get stuff developed in Design Concierge to get banners made for this kind of page. If you're using a additional graphic designer, I've got a recap that I will send out that has the link to the YouTube recommended guidelines, because this image looks like this here, but it also looks a little bit different on a tablet, and it looks a little different on a mobile device. And it will break down what those three sizes are. And you want to keep that in mind, again, if we're using a logo, to make sure the logo is the centered portion of that, or the focused portion of the image, because that's what you want to remain consistent across whatever version of the platform you're using. And YouTube's own statistics tell them that almost, again, this is in the 70 percentile, so almost 3 out of 4 users of the platform access it online. Sorry, not online, on their phones. About 1 out of every 4 is actually using the computer at any given point. So you want to make sure everything looks good on the mobile device. Your banner image can also include hot links. As you can see, I've added 3. Much like your website, you should only have links on your channels that you are actively using. I don't update my Facebook regularly, so I don't have my Facebook here, and you don't see my Facebook on my website. But again, the important part being, now there's an easy way for anybody to get to any specific platform about me through wherever they find me. And everything eventually is built, and all of my videos will have that call to action to remind people, hey, if you'd like to be up to date on everything that I'm doing or talking about, go to my website, sign up for my mailing list, be a part of my newsletter, etc. LinkedIn, Instagram, self-explanatory. They show up right there. Again, nice clickable links. Your YouTube channel layout, I'll show you where you can edit that. That is all done in the customized channel. And you want to keep this, again, focused on what do you think your consumer is going to be interested in most, and how you can group them in by playlists. So for example, I've got a test playlist that we'll go over in in a bit. And then I've also got my current running playlist that is my Coldwell Banker classes. So for agents, I always say the great place to start with content is if you've ever done a listing concierge package, you've got a commercial that ran on television that is available on YouTube to get and put into your channel. So that way, all of these great things in regards to, consistency of marketing and all of the leverage and SEO points that come from, having a strong tagged video and again content being on these channels, making sure that you've got this here. You can also have a running group of videos on your Instagram of your listing videos, and all of them again can point back to your website where people can be signed up for alerts and view current listings and all that great stuff, right? You want to make sure there are call to actions built on all of this, but a great now that I've digressed enough, a great playlist to start with is build a group of videos of all the things you've done on Listing Concierge, and then maybe have another one that talks about in today's climate. That's why a lot of the materials coming out of the studio are COVID-19 related, and both you have two sides, right? You have the market opportunity side because people still need to buy and sell, and there is less inventory, but there's still the same amount of buyers in the grand speak of things that still need to move. So you've got a great opportunity that you can talk about with people that you need to have that discussion with based on how your CRM's organized, or you can reach out to people, not just a segment or all, but all of your sphere, reminding them about, tips and tricks that they can do to stay healthy, things in your community that are happening that would be of importance to them, like charity drives, donation drives, local businesses that are remaining open, restaurants that are remaining open and doing pickup and to-go orders. And again, have that kind of content and maybe just little blurbs, or I have an agent that works on doing video interviews through Teams with business owners, making business-to-business connections and cross-promotion through this channel to remind people, hey, if you want to find interviews about this stuff, you can go to my website. It links to the YouTube channel so you can get here to watch those interviews. And then anyone that wants to be on the mailing list, she highlights a handful of restaurants every couple of weeks that get sent out. And then there's a running list for each city of local places that you can find. And then again, your website and your channels have all become a valued resource for your clients and an audience to come back to and revisit, because it's more than just listings and market related data. You hear a lot of people in my position talk about creating you guys as the figurehead or a mayor in your community, and these kind of moments are the real opportunities to make that kind of content, to cement that to your sphere and your clientele, to make sure that on the other side of this, it carries over and everyone knows you as not only a great knowledge base and wealth of information for market knowledge and real estate, but as a member of my community. Alexa, stop. I don't know why that started. Sorry about that. Moving on. As you can see, there's a videos tab, which will show everything that you have uploaded. Default date is by upload, but you can sort by, however you'd like. Playlists can be created. Channels that you want to feature can also be linked. Again, when we talk about cross promotion and trying to stick within the web of that system, it works very differently in most cases from the way like an Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook works. But in some ways, you still want to try and connect and feature things, because that will allow you to appear on the back end. Your videos will get recommended across better platforms the better connected your channel is to larger networks, using things like good tagged language and commenting and being active on the channel, and using your channel to then reach out and talk about other channels, whether they be, real estate related channels or just stuff that you like and you want to promote. Discussions will allow you to post things here. Like if you're doing a live event on Facebook, you can remind your audience here that that's happening. I'm a big fan of, again, we talk about cyclical marketing and utilizing each thing as an access point. If you're doing a live tour on Facebook, you're marketing it all week like you would any traditional asset that you're doing. posting on Instagram, Facebook stories, making posts about it. It's happening Friday night, putting in the discussion here, reminding everybody, here's the link to get to that Facebook live event. If you're not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list on my website. Then you can get that link in your email and you don't have to worry about it. Then you have the live event. You can take that video and cut it down to the essentials and remind everybody during that live event and through all of the marketing that you're doing that, hey, this video of that tour will be made available on all of my channels, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube a week from the tour. If you would like to see it the next day, I will be sending it out to my sphere in 24 hours. If you are not on my mailing list and want to be, go to my website. So those are the kind of call to actions you want to make sure you're building into everything and utilizing with a channel like this to make sure that it becomes, actually useful to your overall marketing strategy. And that's what I really want to harp on, is this needs to be a part of a bigger strategy. We've talked about, how this stuff looks. Obviously, you've got an about page, which you can see, for business inquiries. I've got my business email in here. So again, that Gmail email doesn't need to be client facing. I've got my quick links put in right here. And I've got channels I'm featuring, which in my case is the CB channel. When you are a channel manager, you can go ahead and hit customize the channel. That's going to bring you right into the editing bay. Now we're going to go work backwards and show you how all this is going to go. Anything you want to edit, you just click on the little pencil and boom. It's just like in InTouch, for example. You can get up to 5 that you want to link to, but again, don't link to anything that you are not using and updating regularly. So in my case, I've got my website. You drop the links in for each one here, here, and here. Hit save and done. The little words that I'm putting in on the left, all those correlate to are the actual words that you see if a user were on their computer and hovering over that specific tile. So to show you what that means, if I hover over Instagram, it says Instagram. If I hover over the house, it says website and LinkedIn. Discussions, you can delete things if you need to delete things from here, and if you need to add comments, you can also do so from this section. Channels. If you'd like to feature channels, this will show you what you are subscribed to and featuring. If you want to feature channels, that is done back here on the About page. In this featured channel section, you can edit this or you can remove the module entirely. And all you have to do to feature a channel is go to that channel and then copy the channel link and paste it into the featured channel section. So if I wanted to add a new one, I put it there, I hit add, and then I hit done, and it gets featured. Playlists, this is where you can manage and create new playlists. I've got a liked video playlist that is currently locked, but if I wanted to unlock that playlist, I could edit the playlist and add videos to it to unlock it. You can create new playlists from right here, or you can create playlists when you're uploading a video. I will go over that in just a sec. But again, if you need to manage all of that, this is where you are looking at it. And your videos, this is just to look at the videos that are on the page that you have. The YouTube Studio is where you will actually manage the videos, and we're going to put a pin in that because I'm going to get there in just a second. And again, looking at the homepage, you can choose to add a featured video right here on featured content. What would you do there? That is a great spot for a channel introduction. I actually haven't filmed mine yet, but it's something I'll be working on in the next week. But essentially, this is where you can welcome people and introduce them to who you are. I mean, what is a YouTube channel for in regards to your business? That, again, stems into what is your marketing plan dictate. For me, and what I would suggest to a lot of the agents that I work with and some of the ones that I am working with that are really successful at this, utilize it for multiple aspects, right? Your big 3 are business, promoting the brand and promoting the business that the brand has. The slice of life, and showing why you love the community you do, and who that curated persona, that is the online personality, the agent version of you, who that is. So again, every prospective buyer and seller and audience member that lands here knows exactly who you are and what you're like to work with right out of the gate. And you get to, be all about business and be and your consumer can come in a little bit more informed about who you are and what you do, and allow you to, remind them that, hey, this is how my footprint works. If you want to find out more about blah blah blah, you can look me up here. Let's talk about what I do and the pillars my business is built on and how I'm going to help you buy or sell your home. I digress. Moving on. And then the third thing is, that little behind the scenes aspect, right? Show them, you know, that's where, market insider points come in, talking about, uh, leveraging, business to business opportunities, both in industry. Maybe you could do an interview talking where you're talking about contracting, or you're talking about landscaping or staging, or, things related to the industry that kind of provide that, almost HGTV type status. And I know that that's a lot to think about, and everyone's got these big ambitions. But again, quote from one of my favorite agents, I talk about it all the time when I'm giving my virtual open house or tour classes. Whenever especially when she got started, I think the big thing that resonates and that she lets every agent know is that your audience member in your sphere don't care about what you look like, and they're not concerned all that much with production quality. What they do care about, what will keep them coming back, is they want authenticity. They want the real you to show up and provide relevant information on the properties that you're talking about or the community that they're in. And again, going beyond the properties and talking about the community and about yourself and about, the industry that we're in, that's where we can really create some sustainability to make sure that people revisit these channels and you can stay top of mind, not only in between business, but in times like these, to provide you as that wealth and resource of information to not just your client, but to someone that they're very much encouraging people to recommend to, hey, check this webpage out, check this video out. Here's a great place to find out stuff that we can do here in the community. And now they're also tagged into everything you do as a business, right? This is another way to bring people in to your main hub, which is the website. Let's talk about, this is how you would, that, like I said, so I digressed a lot. Intro video. This is where you would think about putting something like that and uploading that. And again, you can add new sections. You can create, it's much like any kind of website editor, if you've used InTouch or anything from Squarespace or Property Minder, things like that. You've got things that you can choose from, and you can then manipulate the vertical, horizontal layout of it, and then add stuff to or from or edit from. If you want to delete anything, you can click the little trash can and it will delete it. And that is, oh yeah, and then the only other thing you can edit here, you've got some privacy settings. I wouldn't fuss with these too much. You want to make sure that your page is connected and well connected to be able to be easily shared within the system. Having a branded account will allow you to manipulate this. And as you can see, channel art, I have uploaded a photo already, and whenever you select anything, you get a readout what it looks like on TV, mobile, and desktop to make sure that you can adjust the crop appropriately to look the best possible. Also, updated headshot. And let's go ahead now and talk about how you would upload something to the channel. So I can then get a little bit into the YouTube creator side. So I'm going to go back here for a second, and the YouTube Studio is the back end we're talking about. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to use one of my agents, William Smith, as an example, because I know he's got a listing concierge package that I can leverage. And let's say you are going to do indeed that and build a listings playlist and upload. That's what we're starting with the page. So you're going to go into your into your listing concierge. And obviously mine's going to look a tad different because I'm an admin and I'm going to have to get into my agent's account. So going to ask you to put a pause here while I go into my agent, and then we'll resume when you guys see what looks familiar. Give me one moment here to get this pulled up. All right, so you guys, when you're logging in, should land right about here. Once you are on this page, we're going to go right into your order. And in your order, as you can see, the various things that have been completed. Once you've got the green light on your television and video, that you can click on, and you'll notice that you've got a link to a YouTube channel where all of our content is being uploaded and doing all of that great SEO marketing for this YouTube page, which we want to also have done for yours. So there's two things you can do. You can email your listing concierge coordinator to get the video sent to you. I believe they can still do that. But if not, and you want to do it the quick way I'm going to go about it right now, all we have to do, and I will send you again the links that you would need to do this. I'm going to grab the share link for this video, and I am going to go to this website that we use to get videos off of YouTube. I'm going to paste that video right here. I'm going to hit start, and then it's going to give you the various qualities. Oh, there we go. I'm going to click download, and just like that, we are going to wait while my file is being prepared. Again, my internet is just being a little glitchy, but once it's complete, I will see a download button pop up right here. There we go. I am going to download this video right now, and it is going to be saved to my downloads folder. I'm going to go back to my YouTube channel. So I am on my channel. It's set up. I've got my picture in there. I've got my links all set. I've got my description in here. And again, descriptions are key. Keywords are a thing for a reason. They also feed SEO. They're part of what the search engines are crawling through to find items to, again, better match a consumer search. So having strong keywords in your description is important. For example, bios written out of Design Concierge are very much written with keywords in mind because they're meant to be used online on various places where that bio can be found and then crawled through. So once all of that stuff is done, you've got all those ducks in a row, you're ready to start putting things on your channel. Easy way to do that, I'm going right up here to the top right where you can see a camera with a plus sign in it, and I'm going to go upload video. That's going to bring us to a lovely little screen with an uploader. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can do it one way by going to the actual file. So I'm going to go look at the file, and I could drag it and drop it right in here, and that would start the upload. Or you can do it the traditional way. I'm going to hit select file. I'm going to go into my download folder, and the video was called 4157 Sunridge in Pebble Beach, and blast off. There we go. Video is uploading. Now that the video is uploading, We can talk about, again, utilizing the copy that's already in Listing Concierge that you're already using on brochures or on the single property website, all that. You copy paste that right in here. Make sure you put the link to the website as well as all of your other social media channels, and copy and paste them in here as well, because you want to make sure that everybody, even in the description, if all they land on and find is that video, they can choose from there where to go and if they want to see more. You can also choose a thumbnail. You can upload a thumbnail if you have a branded image that you like to use. The link is already made available. If you want to add it to a playlist, you can create a new playlist, make it public, private versus unlisted. Let's talk about that real quick. Public, obviously public, anybody can see it. Private, you need this link. If you don't have this link, you can't see it, you can't search it. Unlisted, nobody can see it but you. That's both for video status and for playlist status. If you want to just add something to an existing playlist, all you do is check the box. I was trying to create a new one. Check the box. Done. It's going to that playlist. I'm going to hit no because the video isn't made for kids. If you say yes, it just adds it to the YouTube Kids algorithm. It's going to hurt you more than help you because kids don't buy houses. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. This is where you can add annotations and promote related content on your video. So if you guys ever watch YouTube channels and you get to that point where they are pointing at their screen and saying, if you want to watch last week's video, click here. And if you want to see the home we toured last month that I featured, click here. This is where you can do those kind of things if you've already filmed them, and then put those annotations to other videos in your video to link out. And again, make a, for a lack of better words, web of content online that continues to hub your client or potential consumer or audience member into, so they can dive deeper and deeper into your content until they decide, you know what, I'm going to sign up for that mailing list. And lastly is visibility. You can make the video public. You can, again, grab that link from here. You can schedule it to have it go live on a specific date. And once you are done, you hit publish. And just like that, the video will complete its processing. Usually, depending on the size of the video, it take anywhere from 5 minutes to a day to process. If the video is over an hour, it's going to take a while. It's under, this one's only like 40 seconds. It's basically done. And it will be viewable in whatever quality. So this one maxes out at 720. So obviously it will max out at 720p in quality, which is HD. From here, you can embed, you can get all those quick links if you need them. Or, as you can see now, we are in the YouTube studio. This back end is where you can see all of the videos on your channel. As you can see, the ones unlisted don't show up. The ones public do show up. And you've got almost like a spreadsheet. You've got the video title available right there, a select all option, and you can select multiple videos. If you want to add them to a playlist, if you want to delete multiple videos, whatever you want to do, you can do. Restrictions. These are if you've got any age restrictions or if you come across any copyright claims. Do not use copyrighted material. As you can see, I have a copyright material because I have music in there that I do not own. Doesn't hurt me in any way. They're not going to pull the video down so long as what it really means is I can't monetize the video. I'm not trying to make money off of these videos anyway, so it doesn't really harm me. The date published, you can see here. Views, comments, likes versus dislikes. Clicking on any of these will open up the analytics. We'll put a pin in that. I'm going to get into analytics when we get into it right here. Looking at specific videos, as you can see, whenever I hover over them, there's a little bunch of buttons that pop up. You can edit a video by hitting the pencil and going into the details and going back and looking at all of this fun stuff. I'm going to go ahead and undo my changes. Let's go back to channel videos. You can view the analytics for a specific video right here, looking at their reach, engagement. Again, analytics are important just like they are for your guys' research points for anything you're doing. You cannot make an educated decision on anything unless you know what kind of engagement you're getting. And you don't know what kind of engagement you're getting unless you look at the videos and see what's coming back. So if we look at something that actually has some analytics on it, we can see what that kind of looks like. You get, for example, retention, right? This means my videos are long. I should probably make them shorter, but they're classes, so I don't really care. But in the grand scheme of things, right, you're looking at this stuff to figure out what we can do to make sure engagement sticks and we can drive people to what we want. These are just specific for that individual video. And again, you can control time frame here. You can look at reach, engagement, audience, all of that great stuff happens within this system for that specific video. Speaking of analytics, while we're talking, well, I'll get to it in a second. You can also look at the comments. You can remove dirty comments if you want to do that. You can also view this on YouTube. And in the additional options, you can edit the description. You can get a shareable link. You can promote the video and pay Google for promotions. Not going to get into that right now. You can also download the video or delete forever. Obviously, delete forever, like it says. Check the box, can't be undone. I delete it, boom, it's gone. Now that video is deleted. If you want to change the visibility, you can always do that right here or schedule it to go live if it's not live and you want to do that. And that's video management. Dashboard, again, shows you a readout of everything that's happening in the YouTube world and the snapshots of everything that you're doing recently. Playlists, this is where you can manage the videos that are included on the playlists. And again, it's basically popped you back to that section you were in before. I'm going to hit return to YouTube Studio and we'll get back to analytics, which is that next section. And the thing I was going to talk about a second ago, this is going to now give you analytics on the channel as a whole. Now, if you have a Google Analytics account, this can also be linked to feed with that account. And if you are using InTouch as your CRM, you can link things like your Google Analytics and your Facebook Pixel to your InTouch account. So then you can manage your website, YouTube, Google, and Facebook Analytics all in one page. But if you're just managing the YouTube Analytics from here, again, here's where you can see everything going on for the channel as a whole to make sure that everything provides value to the people you are trying to make the content for. If nobody's watching it, then you need to make changes to the strategy and then reach out to your field marketing specialist or your SSA, talk to your manager. There's tons of classes that my team and I are putting together to help talk about content in the coming weeks. You can also, again, manage comments for the channel as a whole. I've got a comment here just talking about a video, recording videos are too small. It's good for me to know. I need to make them bigger. I can do right here. There we go. See, now they're a little bit bigger. Monetization, if you are monetizing your channel, you can manage that here. That is, all that does is it allows YouTube, aka Google, to place ads in your videos either at the front or during the videos, depending on the length. You don't really have a ton of control over that, but you do have some say in what ads get featured. Audio library, if you are utilizing music or sound effects, all tons of royalty-free stuff available right here for you to grab and utilize. Same for sound effects. So again, if you're talking about editing videos and doing, quick little things that you want to get done, you can do all of that for a basic editor here. There is a basic video editor available in YouTube. When you're looking at videos, you can kind of you can see here there is an editor which will allow you to do little basic things in here. In all honesty, this is super rudimentary. It will do the bare bones. So if all you need to do is add title cards, add some sound effects, then that's perfectly manageable here. But in all honesty, things like iMovie or Movie Maker, you can probably find something on your computer that will do a little bit better. However, this is here if you need it. And you know, that's YouTube. That is the basics of getting everything started, getting everything up and running. I am going to stop sharing my screen and stop talking and allow, let's go back into see if there's any questions in the chat and allow everybody to take a moment to unmute themselves if you have anything you would like to ask. Let's look and see what's going on in the chat. Did I miss how to get a branded YouTube channel versus the basic one? So I will send this out in my recap, but let me show you what it is. It's basically the type of Gmail or YouTube account you have. You can convert a account you already have in the advanced settings to a branded account, or you can create, if you don't already have a Gmail that's managing a business related YouTube and you're starting from scratch, you can create that from the get-go. You guys should see a Word document if the share worked. But as you can see here, it will allow you to create multiple channels. So then you can create one for the business, and then you can add a brand name. So for example, if I wanted to call my my channel, you know, Santa Cruz and Monterey Real Estate, I could do so here if that were the brand name of my business, right? Whatever you need to do, you would do here. And more importantly, you can manage the channels and then manage how many people get to have access to it. That way you don't have to give out your login information for a Gmail account, whether you're using it or not. You can allow, everyone has their own password, everyone has their own management system, and everyone can get in and out to do what they need to do to manage the page, to make sure that everything, again, is functioning as it should within your greater marketing scheme. Any other questions? Anything I can help you guys with at all? I hope that made a lot of sense. I did this, this is my second time running this class. The one yesterday ran a little long, and I think I've tightened it up a little bit between then and today. All right, so I don't see anybody unmuting themselves, and I don't see yeah, I don't see any other questions popping into the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you all for